Okay, I'm strapped in and I'm feeling cozy. I have my favorite blanket. I've been sleeping with it a lot. So, I just wanted to share this game I found. I had no idea this even existed. I thought the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon games were exclusive to the DS and GBA, and then, the 3DS, and now the Switch. But actually, we had Pokemon Mystery Dungeon on the Wii, which is so freaking crazy. This actually made me so happy, and I don't know why. Because, it's not anything too special. It's a typical Pokemon Mystery Dungeon vibe. As you can see, some mechanics do stay and return in future generations of Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. Not everything here stays. Some are used here and then never again. And there were actually 3 little games. Of course, they weren't like full titles like the ones on the DS and so on, but they were still fun. And the fact you get 3 different titles, I think the reason it's split up into 3 is because you're limited to the amount of Pokemon that you can start with. So this one, which is Tempest Adventure, I'm pretty sure. Let me see here. Yep, Tempest Adventure. This one is called, let's see here, Pokemon Fushigi no Dungeon. Ikuzo Arashi no Bokuden. Bokendan. Okay. Yeah, so let's go Tempest Squad type shit. So, this one is focused mainly on blue characters, so a lot of blue starters, mostly like the water starters, and then some other non-starter Pokemon that are still still pretty popular. Like over here, I chose to be Riolu because I thought having a fighting type would be good. And then I ended up choosing Totodile here because my main weakness would be a psychic or flying type Pokemon, right? So I know that Totodile eventually should be able to learn some kind of ice type move, hopefully, which would handle the flying types. And then also, I'm sure it can at least learn Bite, if not Crunch. I don't know if this game, since it's shorter than the other ones, if it lets you get to those higher levels in order for Totodile to be able to learn Crunch, but I'm pretty sure it should at least be able to learn Bite, which is a dark type move, which would take care of the psychic type Pokemon that would be coming after me. So I chose these 2 because I thought it would be a good balance, and more than just the fire, water, grass starter trio, I decided to switch it up a bit and just try to account for weaknesses I had with the Pokemon I decided to go with, being Riolu over here. So this is the only one I've played so far, but the other 2 are still pretty interesting. The other 2 games that were released, mind you, this was Japan only, exclusive as WiiWare titles, so only available on the Wii shop. You could only download them, and I was looking up on the wiki, and it says that these games were normally about a third or a quarter of the price of a regular Pokemon Mystery Dungeon game. So they were definitely on the cheaper side since they were a shorter and smaller adventure, but I think it still has that typical Pokemon Mystery Dungeon charm, which I love personally. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon was my first Mystery Dungeon game, and it was not the first Mystery Dungeon game ever, because actually that goes to Dragon Quest, if you didn't know. And I will stand up for Dragon Quest. I love Dragon Quest. So the other two games were known as Radiant Squad and Wildfire Squad. So Radiant Squad being Mezaze Hikari no Bokendan, and then Wildfire being Suzume Hono no Bokendan. So I'm pretty sure Radiant Squad is the one that's focused on a lot of yellow Pokemon, being electric types. So if I had to guess, Pikachu's definitely there. Like, there's no doubt about it. Maybe some grass types. Like, if I had to think about it, maybe like Bayleaf, because it's like a little yellow, but I'm not sure. I haven't played that one yet. Wildfire Squad is, you know, definitely some fire type Pokemon, so it's probably some fire starters and then other Pokemon that are red or fire looking. So it doesn't necessarily have to be only fire. If the Pokemon's red, then it should also be able to be in this game. But it's just that most red Pokemon are already fire types, similar to blue, but we have the exception here being Riolu, and there were like a few others too. I'm trying to think. There were at least like 3 others that weren't starters. Most of them were starters though. But each of these games definitely has a different experience regarding the Pokemon you get to start with, which are really cool. And then obviously it's like a little different theme, but I'm sure all the stories kind of start out the same. Basically, you're trying to like help around the island. You kind of start off at a beach in this game specifically. So you try to help out around the island, and you get to go on missions to like rescue other Pokemon, or, you know, do the typical, oh, I need this item, can you please get it for me? Or like, I lost this in this dungeon, can you retrieve it for me? Or like, oh, I can't contact my friend, can you escort me to them in the dungeon? So this first mission is about rescuing Shuckle, who ended up going into this dungeon looking for very tasty food, which is funny, but that was his motivation. You can only assume that Shuckle and his friends are like younger Pokemon, and you're just like a bit older than them. Not the types to go ahead and just like run off, but the ones to protect others and defend them. So as you can see in the back here, there's Mudkip and then obviously Squirtle. So those are only like 2 like of the other ones, and I don't necessarily know how these 2 are chosen, but I think it's because they were like in close proximity with the ones I chose. Excuse me. So something really cool too is basically after this mission, you're able to start with 4 Pokemon on your team. Like from the get-go, you don't have to like recruit them. Like in the other Mystery Dungeon games, it usually takes a while for you to be able to get more than 2 Pokemon on the team. You know, you have to be lucky in order for them to be like, oh, can I join your team? So this one is really nice. A bit of a quality of life feature that you get 4 Pokemon off the rip to go ahead and adventure with you throughout these dungeons. So, again, I don't know if those 2 extra Pokemon are random or not, but I just think it's really helpful. I mean, it's probably because these games are shorter overall. They have to like speed up the process, which makes sense. But, ooh, that was cute. It had the Tempest Squad logo. That's probably Sorry. Ugh, my cat. Had the Tempest Squad logo. It's probably going to show the different logos for the other games. Probably try out the first few dungeons in the other games as well, just to like see what major differences there are. I might go ahead and like stream my gameplay trying to like beat these since they're relatively short games, and I'm pretty sure they're not super popular. The only reason this is in English is because I was able to find an English translation patch online. And I'm pretty sure it was like fan translated. So I'm actually able to have this game in English. But I saw that in the README it said that some things still show up in Japanese, and there's like things with that the patch is also like, it like allows you to use like Reconnect 24 and like Wii MMFi, or like the Wii Wi-Fi thing, so you could like do like they're like mystery gifts, you could get those and stuff. And if you're doing this on a like jailbroken Wii, then you should be able to connect it to one of your games, because I'm pretty sure you can connect to other Pokemon Mystery Dungeon games in order to receive items, which is pretty cool. I love this era of Wii games. I've just been getting into it now, but there was a lot of like back and forth between Wii games and DS games. There was a connection there, similar to like Smash Bros with the Wii U, Smash Bros 4 specifically. The 3DS could have been a controller for that, which was cool, and it was the first time Smash was on a handheld console. But anyways, I feel old. I was in high school. I literally remember the day that game came out. But anyways, let me make sure I said everything here. Yeah, I've been getting into My Pokemon Ranch, which I think is also a really cute game. It's really relaxing. I like to have it in the background sometimes, just because I like the music. It's very calming, and you just get to see your Miis interact with Pokemon that are in the game. And the ranch like owner, Haley, she brings Pokemon every day, so it expands your ranch. You can, you know, grow your flock, I guess. So I don't know, I just think it's really cool. And I really like how you can like transfer Pokemon from like the Gen 4 game, like Diamond and Pearl, into that game. And I'm also pretty sure you can transfer Pokemon over from Pokemon Rumble too, which is really sick. So yeah, this game is really cute. They all have the Pokemon all have the same look as they do in Pokemon Ranch, which is this kind of like low poly, low res kind of Pokemon look. You don't get to see this much because even in the 3DS games, it was still a bit, oh bless you, a bit higher quality. Regardless, this was like my first time ever playing this and finding out about it, and I'm just happy I was able to share this with you guys. So have a good day, and I'll see y'all soon.